Z Nation, back at it, float again. Let's have an awesome time here at the Oasis tank at one of my favorite places so far, Total Zen Floats. As always, good crystal. Loving the crystal. Gonna have an awesome float session, so I'll see you on the other side. Oh yeah. Oi, Z Nation, back from I'm back from the other side, being my float tank experience. That would be my, I already lost track. I think it was the 13th to 14th time I've floated. Best experience I think so far. The reason I say that, so I've been in this float tank the most out of all the tanks I've been in, the Oasis tank at Total Zen Floats. So it's the most familiar and comfortable for my body as far as what it's used to, and it really allows me just to fully relax and not be extremely focused on the tank itself. But I did find this session, I was even noticing newer things about the inside of it that I never noticed before, but nonetheless it didn't take away from distracting me too much from my mind. But I literally, and this is the giant thought that came across when I was in it, I entered a part of my mind in the sense where I was deeply focused in all these different thoughts, all these different vast thoughts, to the point where I was so focused on them, I lost sense of time. And before I knew it, I realized, wow, I am really thinking heavily here. I'm just really observing my thoughts extremely clear in a way that I necessarily haven't done so this well before in a float tank. In my mind, I was thinking like, wow, how would I best describe this? And I kind of came up with, it's like my mind is a giant store in like a home improvement store. So something like Home Depot or Lowe's. Entering that store, being able to take a cart, and that cart represents me scanning through my mind, me being able to go up and down all the different aisles in my mind, and I can stop at any one of those aisles on a dime and observe whatever is presented in the aisle, being my thoughts, and just take it all in. And it was awesome space to be in. I even remember thinking, I was like, wow, there's nothing I'm thinking about at all. No consideration given to what's going on outside of that small area I was in, being my mind. And then I even saw afterwards, because I'll do the thing occasionally where I'll just stare up at the ceiling or the inside of the tank, and I actually, my mind, I want to say, since it's completely dark, you can't really see anything, it created visuals I've actually never seen before, which is really cool to take in. So those are probably the two key highlights I would say for this past session. Was one, being the way I observed my thoughts in such a great detail, to the point where I never had that long of a period of observing my thoughts without realizing I was actually doing so. Because a lot of times my mind will drift off and I'll be like, oh, hey, I'm thinking of these thoughts again, I'm observing these thoughts. And then I'll realize all of a sudden, like, oh, this is where I'm at again. I'm in a float tank. But this time I was observing all these different thoughts for a long duration of time. Not sure how long, because it's easy to lose your sense of time. And then realize, oh, I'm in a tank. So being able to go such a long time, being in that zone or being in that flow of just observing your thoughts and nothing else comes across in your mind, was a really cool and neat and enlightening experience. And then also the visuals was cool. And before I know it, I just passed out. And then here I am now, feeling spried up, awake, loving life. Feeling good. So I'm very happy I did that float, and I almost feel like I get an appreciation for going back to a float tank I have done many times from going to foreign tanks, being any other tank that I have never been to before, such as the one I did in Amsterdam. Not that I didn't like the one in Amsterdam, it just gives me a strong appreciation for familiarizing my body's familiarized with the tank, and just it's so much easier to let go kind of thing, because it was like for this session, literally right when I get my body in the water and I lay down, boom, I'm just completely relaxed, and I love that. So good times for sure, and I'll check in with you a little bit later. Love and life. Gonna have a chat with my pops who I haven't talked with in a while, and by in a while, like 3 or 4 weeks maybe. Nah, about 3 weeks. I chatted with him right before I went to Europe, so I'm gonna do that and check in with you one more time. I keep saying that, and then I keep rolling with thoughts here. Sum it up, just love and life. So check in with you a little bit later. Peace. All right, just got back to home base. Just made some food, about to take off. One thing I want to show you what I got today from a client who just got recently back from Australia, because she had Make-A-Wish pay her and her family trip across to Australia for 10 days, seeing pretty much the eastern coast of Australia, being primarily just the New South Wales territory and Queensland. Is it Queensland? Yeah. Boy, I'm trying to remember my territories now. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, Queensland. Anyways, they got me a beach towel. Check it out. Australia. And it has the star constellation of the Southern Cross, baby. Something you don't see because we have the North Star, but we do not have the Southern Cross. And there's the final touch to the Australian flag. British influence for sure. Alrighty, I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. Loving life. Loving the beach towel. It's funny I got that because I literally do not have a towel. Haven't had a towel for almost this entire week. Ever since I took my Florida towel with me on my Europe trip. There was a point where about a week and a half, almost pretty much 2 weeks into the trip, wasn't able to do a load of wash, and I actually had to travel with a wet towel, and that wet towel became very smelly and moldy, and by that point I was just like, all right, just tossing it, and made do without that towel. So it was great timing. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll check in with you a little bit later. Peace.